Okay, unlike previous segments that I've done in my LPs in general, I actually have a fair amount to talk about here. The first thing I'm going to establish here is I now have a Geodude on the team. It's only going to be temporary. I don't really plan on committing to the use of this thing, but I did get up to level 12 along with the rest of the team, aside from Slowpoke, which I've not touched in the slightest. It has Rock Throw, so it'll be pretty useful for Faulkner. And I also wanted to have at least 3 Pokemon to go into the Sprout Tower. I mean, I've got 4 here, but the thing with Illison is that if this thing gets beyond level 13 by the time it evolves, it's not going to get its first stab move. It's going to end up missing out on that one. So I don't mind getting it up to level 13, but I don't want to get it beyond that. So, and the problem with Leafeon as well is that if it loses its level 13 move, which is Razor Leaf, it doesn't get another attacking stab until 28, which I have actually come to a decision with this. I'm actually not going to be going with the Leafeon anymore. I have actually opted, I'm not going to lie, it is because the Modest Nature kind of just razzes my stash. It really shouldn't matter to me, like, in an in-game situation like this. But you also have to consider the fact that this is a ROM hack. It's an increased difficulty ROM hack. And so if I'm going to have something that has a Modest Nature, I'd like to have something that actually works with it. So I am instead going to evolve this thing into a Glaceon, which renders this name completely and utterly moot until such time as I can change it at Goldenrod. But the other advantage is that this thing gets Icy Wind at 13 as a Glaceon, and I think it gets another attacking move at 23 or something like that. So I don't have to wait quite as long for Ice-type moves for this thing. So that's what I'm going to be sticking with. Fanpy has... Where's the moves list? Yeah, here we go. It's got Takedown. I was a bit about it, but it is the most powerful move that it's gotten so far, and it's pretty damn good for this point in the game. As I said earlier, Slowpoke, I have not touched. It's got Yawn. I might be able to get some use out of that, and I've already shown this one off. I might get up a few Rock Polishes and then just sweep with Rock Throw, I guess. Also, you are holding something. Okay, cool. Right, first thing we get to talk about is this fellow over here. You talk to him and he gives you a quiz. If you get all 4 of these questions correct, he will give you a present. Were any Pokemon, Hoenn Pokemon obtainable within Fire Red and Leaf Green? Yes. The Lax and Sea Incenses were, I believe, available in the game, so you could get Azurill and why not through breeding. Dragonair, I want to say, is about 13'4" in the Pokedex. Either that or 13'7" or something like that, so that is correct. Bulbasaur's not the first Pokemon created. According to some kind of line of text in Sun and Moon, apparently Diglett was technically the first Pokemon created by Morimoto when he was a kid or something like that, but I think it's generally accepted that it's either Rhydon or Nidorino that's the first. And Tropius has to be transferred into the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. You can't find it in-game. So we have all 4 of those questions correct, and we get to choose a Kanto starter. I'm going to go with Charmander because it doesn't actually matter. I don't plan on using any of these on my team since I used them in various Kalos playthroughs where I had access to their Mega Evolutions. So, now that is out of the way, let's go ahead and drop this thing off. There is a route on Route 30. I don't really plan on using this thing unless I decide to go with a Mega Gardevoir, and obviously I can't do that in this generation, so just going to go ahead and drop that thing. Relax is pretty shitty for it. It is plus defense minus speed. Only reason I know that is because Relax is a pretty decent nature to have on a Fortress if it knows Gyro Ball, because then it just gets that little bit of extra power to it. So I'm going to first do some exploration around the place. I'm probably not going to go in too in-depth here, but I will establish this. I will talk about this, rather. This guy wants a Rhyhorn and will offer you a Gligar for it. I do not have a Rhyhorn, and I cannot get one until I get to Route 33, which is the route that's perpetually raining past Union Cave, between that and Azalea Town. So there's the school. I don't think there's anything relevant to my interests in here. I think usually you can find, like, a Quick Claw or something in here, but I think in Generation 2 games and the remakes, no, that I don't understand what that group thing is in the slightest, but yeah, the Quick Claw here I'm pretty sure is not until National Park, There's the gym, I'm not going to go in it. There is the Earl of Twirl. We're just going to completely ignore him. See what you're bloody selling. Nothing out of the ordinary. I bought a few more Pokeballs, I caught that Routes. I can't remember if I caught anything. I did try to catch a few... I did make a few attempts at trying to catch an Abra. It didn't work out, unfortunately. That's not a bad convention to nickname Pokemon after. That's kind of cool. I would probably be more inclined to name a Cherubi that or something like that, but I can't judge. So let's hope that this idiot doesn't walk into the wrong spot. God damn it. Okay, do you mind pissing off? Yeah, I wanted to get the Pokeball that was hidden here. I think it might have... For some reason, I feel like that was a rare candy or something like that, but I'm pretty sure my memory is telling me that it is indeed a Pokeball. So, I could go and check out Ruins of Alph, I could check out Route 32, I'm not going to do either of those, I'm just going to get the Sprout Tower out of the way, so... That's going to be the bulk of this segment, I imagine, even though it doesn't really take that long to get through Sprout Tower, so... And in that time, I can talk about a few things. I done goofed last night. I set up until about 5 o'clock this morning breeding stuff on my Sun cartridge for competitive purposes. I was actually able to get a 5 IV Mimikyu out of the deal, with its only imperfect IV being Special Attack. Which, okay, well, I'm definitely gonna give a shit about it if I'm getting it to be adamant nature. Because I went and picked up a 4 IV Ditto, found it was adamant, and decided, well, I've got everything that I need to breed a pretty good Mimikyu, and so I went with that. In the process, however, I changed up the Mimikyu that I used as a parent, and so I had the one that I used in my Pokemon Moon, not my cartridge though. I was one of those idiots that couldn't wait and decided to get the pirated version, so Nintendo can go ahead and sue me if they want. I don't really give two shits. But I used a Mimikyu in that one, I named it Copyscape, and then I sent the team across to my Sun cartridge. And so from there, I used Copyscape as the first parent, and then I got a 2 IV Mimikyu from the batch of 5 eggs that I made off of that, and so I used that as the mother, and eventually pulled, I think, like a 3 or a 4 IV from that next set of from that next batch. And so since that 2 IV was completely useless to me, I released it. And then when I went to fit the items onto the parents in order to continue the breeding process, I realized that I actually forgot to take the Destiny Knot off of that other Mimikyu before I released it, so I ended up losing a Destiny Knot. Yeah, it was kind of depressing. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, thankfully, because I did actually have another Destiny Knot on my Moon cartridge, so I just sort of sent that over and used that. It's still annoying because I did pay battle points for it. I tried to get one through pickup, and it just did not frickin' happen for me. And I could not be asked getting my pack of 5 Meowths all the way up to level 50 or some shit to give myself a good chance of getting them. So, I just opted against doing that. I just could not be bothered doing that. How many Pokemon does this guy have? This is the 4th one. He had 2 Bellsprouts, he had the Sunkern, and now he's got the Routes. Whatever. Point is, I eventually did get a good Mimikyu, Adamant Natured 5 IV, as I said earlier, and so I can't remember what I did after that. I think I just did some messing around with stuff, in regards to importing stuff from Gen 1, because for those of you who don't know how the importing works and how Pokemon like get their natures and abilities and their IV spread and stuff like that, when you send a Pokemon up from Gen 1 to Gen 7, they are guaranteed to have at least 3 perfect IVs. They are guaranteed to have their hidden ability, and you can mess around with their experience count in Gen 1 in order to give them the correct nature, if you want to give them a good nature. So the formula is that you take the experience count of the Pokemon in question, divide it by 25, and then you take whatever the remainder is from that answer, and that's the value that determines the nature that the Pokemon will be when it goes up to Gen 7. There is a table up on Cerebi. If you go up to Game Mechanics and then click Natures, you should be able to find that table, and so I was able to consult that table and get some good value out of that. It just occurred to me that this thing does not have any psychic moves. Let's just put it to sleep, I guess, assuming I can survive this Razor Leaf. I do have lowered physical defense though, but it's taking it like a bit of a boss. Just because I'm out leveling most of the stuff in this tower anyway, so I don't necessarily mind this. I would like to switch here, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and throw a tackle at it. No, no, god damn it. Okay, so that was a waste of an attack. But yeah, my plan was to just go into Fan P and smash it with a takedown. I don't really see any reason not to speed up here. Poliwag. This is a bit of a problem I've got here because there's a lot of grass and water types, it seems. And most of my Pokemon are weak to those two types. And I'm outsped by the Poliwag. Yeah, I don't get it. Illison is pretty damn quick. It outlevels this thing by a good 3 levels, and I'm still get put to sleep by it. Yeah, this thing is easily taken care of with Bite. Except Reflect is a thing, but whatever. I don't really care. Gonna go and quickly heal. Can we maybe not? This is considerably faster than I am used to for some reason. It's probably just because I'm got the running boots now. I like how I've got the bike. I've got it set there so I can just click on it and sort of ride on it, but I've not had any use for it. I said in the first segment that I've got the bike right from the word go, which means the running boots are going to be completely useless unless I'm in buildings like this one. And yet that's the first time I've used the bike at all in the playthrough. Rattata, you can piss off. I would also like to leave with Illison here, because I don't want to be dealing with wild encounters and shit like that. At least I know if I'm going to get poisoned anytime soon, I'm going to be right. Yeah, that should be pretty good. I did heal, right? Yeah, I just took a bit of damage from that Rattata because it decided I wasn't allowed to run away from it. So, I don't mind this. Let's just... Okay. Thank you, Zigzagoon. You would have been useful, except for the fact that you just sort of got replaced by Fanpy. X accuracy, that might not be too bad to fit onto Fanpy for a battle and increase its chances of hitting with Takedown. I actually don't know what Takedown's accuracy is, but I think all you need is like 77 base accuracy or something for a +1 accuracy to bring it up to 100%. I don't know if that's correct though. Okay, Mareep. This is very easily taken care of by Fanpy. Any shenanigans that it's going to do to me, it just can't do to my Elephante. Growl is not particularly nice though. I'm also hoping that Static doesn't kick in here. And of course I jinx it. You wanna, like, finally get around to attacking this thing? Yeah, it gets Growl at 13, but I can't... I pretty much can't use Illison anymore. Now, this Oddish is gonna put me into a really, not a very comfortable situation, because I need to put this thing to sleep first off. And this time I'll actually go for the tackle here. That's actually a pretty good tackle. I should be able to get a... Yeah. No problems getting rid of that. Hoot Hoot. I see no reason not to switch out here. I mean, I see no reason to switch out here. It has Insomnia. Okay, that's some minor annoyance. And it's dead. Okay, I really should have just gone with Geodude in this situation, but whatever. Okay, guess we're going back to heal. And at this point, I will now discuss the third and final thing that I had to talk about here, as I come across a Bidoof. I have absolutely no intention on using a Bidoof. I think the only time I ever intend to use a Bidoof is if I ever pick up bloody Platinum again. Because the only reason I remember that hack exists is because I was looking for a Vulpix to use on my team for that, and I came across a shiny Bidoof. So, I found that to be rather hilarious. But anyways, next topic I get to talk about is related to my past Pokemon playthroughs. This time I'm going to be talking about Ruby and Sapphire, which again, like all of the other games I've gotten so far, I got those on the same day. And so I sort of messed around with that. Obviously I favoured Sapphire over Ruby. And I believe I went through 2 different playthroughs of Sapphire and reset them at around about the Slateport City area before I realised that you could walk underneath the cycling road. In case you were wondering how much of an idiot I was when I was a kid. Yeah, I'm not exactly proud of this moment, but I did eventually work that out, and so I then basically decided, well, if I'm going to have this one starter, I might as well have the other 2 with me. And since I had 2 different GBA systems, as well as a link cable, I was able to start my Ruby file a couple of times, get the starters, and then send them over. So, on the Sapphire game itself, I picked Trico, and then I sent the Torchic and Mudkip over. And so that Torchic and Mudkip naturally got an experience buff, and so basically just had the wood on my Trico for the entirety of the game. By the time I actually ended up losing them along with all of my cartridges, I believe I had my Sceptile at around about close to 80, but the other 2 starters were already at 100, so that gives you a fair idea of how much influence the boost had, so yeah, I kind of expected to die there. I don't know why I led with Geodude there. I should be right to take care of this thing with Slowpoke though. It's being a bit of a tank despite the fact that its physical defense took a hit with its nature. Bulbasaur though is not gonna be a very good thing to deal with. If I had Confusion, I wouldn't be anywhere near as concerned with this. But the Tackle's still doing a considerable amount of damage to these things, so I'm not going to complain too much. But yeah, I ended up losing them because they all got stolen off me because I took them to school like an idiot. In terms of other stupid things to have happened in those playthroughs, I didn't find any shinies. As a matter of fact, I only have a single shiny that I've ever encountered in the Hoenn region, and it was in Omega Ruby, so no shinies there. But I did, like an idiot, somehow lose my Kyogre. Basically what happened was I wasn't aware that the battles started immediately when you stood on a certain spot, and so, like an idiot, I forgot, I didn't have much of an opportunity to save, and I realized that if I wanted to reload, I would have to go all the way back to before I had evolved my Grovyle into a Sceptile, and I needed to do this because that Sceptile's Giga Drain was basically the difference between me and the 7th gym. I kept getting my ass handed to me. I had my Blaziken and Swampert at level 45 each, and still could not beat their Lunatone and Solrock. That's how freaking embarrassing it was. Okay, this is kind of inconsistent, but I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, no, screw it. Just go back to heal. I feel like I should probably get like a flying type of some variety just to sort of take care of any grass types here, because I get the impression that this Elder Sage is going to be an ass to deal with. I kind of wonder now if I want to use a Metatite. And now I realize it's part Psychic, so I kind of really just can't. But yeah, I lost the Kyogre, and so basically what I did was, once I beat the league and sort of did a bunch of stuff in Sapphire, I took all the good stuff off it, transferred it to my Ruby, and then reset the Sapphire file just so I could get a Kyogre. But yeah, in regards to that gym, I just couldn't beat it until I got the Sceptile. I didn't save again until after I lost the Kyogre. It was very stupid. I can't quite remember the team I had in it outside of the 3 starters. I know I had an Azumarill. I don't remember what the other 2 team members were. I imagine there would have been a legendary of some variety in that team, because it's me. I'm a kid. I'm going to use legendaries. So that's just sort of a bit of a thing that you have to just get used to, really. So this is the last fellow before we take on the Grand Elder dipshit fellow. What does this thing have? If it has nothing but teleport, then I guess that's the easiest experience in all of history. Hoppip, I don't rate this thing's physical defense, so I'm going to go with a takedown here. It doesn't seem to have any grass moves either, so that's fine. I don't think Execute's going to have anything in regards to grass moves either. It might have Bullet Seed or something like that. It's got Hypnosis though, that's a minor annoyance. Do I have anything that can heal that? No, I do not. Okay. In that case, I guess we're just gonna sort of... Oh, shit. Okay, no, we're switching out. We are most certainly switching out, and we're gonna have to bring Illicin in here because I need to bite this thing into the middle of next week. Okay, cool. Hoots is obviously going to be taken care of quite easily by a rock throw. Okay, I'm quite content with how that worked out. And yay. Probably going to be berries of some variety. Yeah, this Vampy needs to be woken up. And I have nothing to wake it up with, so... Okay. Guess we're going back again. Oh, god damn it. God damn it. No! No! No. God damn it, why? Stupid fucking Spinder. And that's not the only thing that's pissed me off today either, because for the last topic of discussion that I have, I have to go on a tangent about how stupid my internet was when I woke up earlier today. I switched my computer on, and when Discord went to load, all I got was a blank grey screen. And so it took me far longer than it had any real right to for me to actually get Discord to work on this computer again. I deleted Discord off the computer, like I uninstalled it, went to download a fresh installer and figured that that might help. So I go onto the Discord site, I go to download, and it just refuses to load. So I'm like, okay, well fuck, it's probably just some kind of download issue. So I went to log in. It refuses to take me to the page where I log in. I am basically just absolutely pissed off to the freaking nuts with Discord right now, and basically I'm blaming that thing for just having some weird fucking stupidity with my server. And so out of just random desperation, I decide, well fuck it, I might as well just... gonna go ahead and throw a save state here. I'll throw it in slot 2. I decided I would just switch my modem off and back on again. Didn't expect it to be the cause of the issue. Turns out it was. Made me very, very salty. And, it does piss me off, because I've had times quite recently where I just wake up and I have slow-ass internet and I have to reboot the modem in order to get the speed back. It's really stupid. I don't even know what causes it to do this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut the segment, because you don't need to see me go back and heal. This Spinder is fucked in the head. So, yeah, I kind of figured if I wanted to have something to deal with grass types, I might as well just pick up this Starly here. I just sort of sat here and decided I wanted to grab one of these things, and I'm quite pleased to see that it has wing attack. Will a second tackle kill it? No, it will not. I'm happy about this. Catch that. And so that's just going to sort of sit there. It's not going to get added to the thing, though, because I'm only going to have it for this battle and absolutely nothing else. So, cutting back once I actually get up to the fellow, because I got to go back and heal this stupid Starly. And the Starly is just holding a random berry. I think this is the berry that weakens super effective ice moves. So that's not too bad. Gonna leave with Slowpoke here to just yawn whatever it is that he sends out first. And with any luck, we will be able to get out of this unscathed. Some kind of spiritual shit praising Sprout Tower or something like that. Apparently that weird pillar thing in the middle was supposed to be like an incredibly tall as fuck Bellsprout. Speaking of Bellsprout. I can take a hit from this thing, so I'll definitely be putting it to sleep. Because I want to try to preserve my Starly's HP as much as I can here. So I'm happy that it used growth there, because now I can just go ham with wing attack. So that's pretty good. Slowpoke gets to 15. Confusion, that is a good move to have. Gonna get rid of Growl because Tackle might still be kind of useful for anything that resists both Water and Psychic. Not that there should be anything like that, but whatever. Growl sucks anyways. That's the point that I'm trying to make here. Chingling. I don't see any real reason to not go with the same strategy. Unless this thing decides to just start uproaring for no real reason. It shouldn't... Oh, god damn it, really? Yeah, that's about right. That'd be about right, isn't it? Alright. Rock throw this thing into the middle of next week. Hopefully it calms down at some point soon. Tank with the 1 HP, which is nice, although if he's got a Hoot, that's not going to be a good thing for me. In the meantime, we've just got this Cherubi. Setting up Leech Seed, which is not going to matter that much to me. It takes a little bit of HP off me, but I'm not going to care too much. I should be able to take care of this Hoot with Phanpy, so... Confusion being a bit obnoxious. Jeez, that's a bit of a tank there. And Hootoo's quite the tank, and it's being quite the obnoxious with Hypnosis. Alright. Let's go ahead and get some health back onto Geodude in case I need him. At this rate it looks like I am, because it's refusing to wake up, and the takedown killed it. You did well. Okay, is that it? Okay, cool. We have gotten through that pretty damn well. I'd say the Starly definitely helped me out there. Be able to stand up to Faulkner, hopefully. I mean, I've got the Geodude on me, but I can't really rely on it for absolutely everything. Favorite evolution of Eevee? I don't have... Well, technically speaking, my favorite evolution is Jolteon, but for the purposes of this, I'm going with Glaceon. And that will give you the Chilled Ore. And there's the Flash TM. Not like it actually matters that much. But this Chilled Ore is it's a custom item. And it is used to evolve Eevee into Glaceon because the snowy rock, the ice rock doesn't exist in Heart Gold or Soul Silver. And so there is actually an equivalent to this for Leafeon. And guess what? It's actually not the Leaf Stone. You would think that it would be. Just use the Leaf Stone and it becomes Leafeon. It only makes sense. That's not the case. Instead, you have to use a Woodland Ore to evolve it. I have absolutely no idea what the hell the ROM hacker was thinking when he did this. I can't blame him for not having the foresight to implement an Ice Stone, because this came out years and years before. I think this came out before even Gen 6 came out, so the Ice Stone wasn't a thing in the slightest. So I can't blame him for not coming up with an Ice Stone to use for this thing, but for the love of God, why do you make a special item for evolving this thing into a Leafeon when you've got a perfectly good Leaf Stone? I don't understand. It's very stupid. Anyways, we now have a Glaceon. And upon successful evolution at 13, it gets Icy Wind. This is a pretty damn good move just in general. Like, it's a pretty good move in competitive because it drops the opponent's speed. And I think it actually has a 100% rate as well. And it's got a pretty decent power to it. It's not too bad in regards to this point in the game. So... gotta get rid of Helping Hand. There's not that many double battles in the game. I don't see Helping Hand being very useful, so... And Tail Whip would be good if I decide to go with my physical attacks here. Not that they'll be that useful, but... the thought process is still there, so... there you go. And just to make it easier, if you wanted to use an Espeon or an Umbreon for this playthrough, they have also been retconned into special use items as well, so you don't have to increase their happiness and all that jazz. So yeah, I'm getting very annoyed at you right now, Slowpoke. I shouldn't be getting annoyed at Slowpoke. I should be getting annoyed at my lack of foresight to switch Slowpoke out of the lead slot, considering how stupidly slow he is. Who would have thought? So, there you go. I'm going to go ahead and heal here, and then I'm going to go ahead and end the segment here. Next time, I'm either going to do some messing around with Ruins of Alph, or I'm going to do Violet Gem. Actually, yeah, I'm going to have more than enough time to do both. Whatever. I'm going to do one before the other. You'll find that out tomorrow. So, see you then.